Your Fresh TV Sports FOE Extra post lockdown podcast, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. First podcast back from COVID lockdown, whatever you want to call it, but we're back in the studio today. Myself and Big V10. How you doing, V?
Not Big V10, just the V10's fans.
Keeping it humble today,
yeah.
Keeping it humble. So obviously, other half of Your Fresh is in the building. So in between me and V, we have Mr. Skin 2T himself, Big Bakes. How are you, Bakes?
Yeah, I'm in good spirits, man.
Yeah.
Can we get a little Skin 2T?
Right, so what people them? And when we set out the thing, Skin 2T, and big up your chest.
Every time people them, you're done. Man.
Yes, and then further on to my left, we have T from Lamberth.
Ooh.
Get mixed up sometimes.
She started already.
See, I'm playing.
It's all good.
I'm playing. Now we have T, obviously, formerly of Saha, now with Lamberth. Is that an upgrade?
Back home, not an upgrade. Back home.
Okay, we're sitting on the fence. We really got the fence sitters out there. Now, T, how are you, bro?
I'm good, man. All good. Good to be back,
how's life
man.
treating you at the minute?
Life's good at the minute, man.
Good stuff. in between, we have Big Winch, Big 4-5, no safety, Mr. LA, goals, whatever else you want, Mr. Controversial.
Sunday League's Adriano.
Winch, how are you, bro?
I'm alright, I'm alright.
Yeah?
Thank you.
How's life been treating you?
Hey, man. It's been a tough one. Didn't get to play our cup finals when we wanted to, but we'll touch up on that.
Cool. And then to his left, we have Mr. Money, Gaffer, Mr. 5 Cars, Mr. Lamberth.
Wow.
Yeah, all around the world.
Wow.
Globes, how you doing, my bro?
I'm good, family. How are you lot?
Yeah, man, we're good, man. We can't complain. We're here. I think the biggest thing is that we're back.
Definitely.
Big, man. So, introductions done. Agenda. Today's an open agenda. We're going to talk about controversial tweets, things going on Twitter. We're going to talk about pre-season. We're going to talk about last season. We're going to talk about next season's predictions. And we're going to talk about other teams and where we rate ourselves amongst other teams. We'll probably have a little recap of how me and you thought Your Fresh went last year, and obviously a massive year of growth for ourselves. I don't think we could have asked it to go, apart from COVID, obviously everyone keeping safe, I don't think we could have asked it to go
At all.
any better.
At all.
Any better. Although people doubted us.
Come on.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, man.
Aye, but we thrive with the doubters, man.
We grow.
If you ain't got the haters, you ain't doing it right, man. So, I think if we start, let's talk about Twitter first for you, right? So, the last few weeks on Twitter, there's been a few tweets flying about. People are hiding, people are scared. I think if we quote it, T, you said on Twitter that teams are hiding to play friendlies, right?
100%.
Elaborate on that. What do you mean by that?
I mean, teams are refusing games. Teams are talking up on Twitter saying they got no game this week and won't take games against other teams.
Against against your team in particular?
Do you know what? This is for Saha, this one. I was trying to get Saha a game against Bayern, never win. And, they beat Lamberth once, and now all of a sudden, they're hiding from everyone else. They're living on that one win.
Is that how you feel that they're living on? Do you think they're a good side?
Do I think they're a good side?
Yeah.
From what I saw?
Yeah, just your opinion.
My opinion?
Yeah,
from what I saw, they got a couple good players, but I wouldn't say they're a good side.
Who's their best player?
I like, personally, what's his name? Millsy.
Oh, Millsy.
Good player.
Yeah.
Good player. And they had some young boy who had a few tricks. Is it Palace?
Yeah, Palace.
That's good. And Palace.
Oh, Palace is there, yeah? Young Palace is there, yeah?
He was decent.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, man, they talk a lot. Last season, we had it at the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
Me and Fingers in the crowd, Fingers saying, we'll play you. We offered you out last season. Well, not we. Saha offered you out last season. Mm-hmm. You pulled out last minute. Offered you out again when you ain't got a game in the week. You don't want to take it, so you're hiding.
Okay, and what about...
No one wants to play Lamberth either.
There you go.
It's tricky to get a game. I didn't realise it was so hard.
What does your pre-season look like at the minute? Is there a pre-season in terms of friendlies?
Yeah, we've got friendlies lined up, but we had a lot of teams drop out.
Teams that we know?
Of course. We've messaged teams.
They
say, we've got to talk with the team first. It's a simple yes or no. You either believe in your team or you don't.
Do you generally believe that they pull out because they don't want to play Lamberth? Is that the belief?
100%.
Yeah.
We had a friendly booked, and then Winch mistakenly sent our squad to them.
Wait, mistakenly
sent our squad to them.
Yeah,
and then that was it. The friendly was off. So they done obviously their research on however they do it,
Yeah.
and then we decided, it won't be a good idea to play us.
Oh, because one thing I heard, like the response that they're having is a lot of these teams are doing it for like their brand.
Yeah.
So I want to like delve into this whole branding thing. Yeah, like what do you think that teams at of that stature should only be playing other teams that have the same level of branding, so to speak, or do you think that they should mix it up?
To be the best, you got to play the best, regardless of the brand.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are. If your team's the best out there, play the best. See how good you are. For instance, against Saha last year, I took a game against RB. We got battered, but we took the game. RB, but we took the game. It is what it is. Yeah. We want to play the best to see how good we was. So if you want to play the best, play them. Don't hide. It's simple.
Did that play a part in you moving to Lamberth?
Did that play a part? No. A lot of other things played a part. Personal factors. Okay. I wasn't going to carry on with Sundays until Winch gave me a call. I was literally giving it all up.
Okay. Winch, what was your thinking behind getting T in?
Yeah, T is a person I've watched, and even when I started Lamberth and people didn't really know about us, didn't rate us, I think T touched on a couple things I saw, and I didn't know him as much. So obviously I spoke to Azza, the GOAT, and then we had a brief talk on it, and then there's a thing where T's can see things I won't see, and D will see things I can't see. So I think it's important. It's not just me. Do you know what I mean? I think people think because I'm the face of what's going on, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes. And even before, like on my journey to the London Cup, T was always supportive of what I was doing, communicating behind the scenes. Yeah, me and D talk every day, literally. Yeah. And then there's people like Gary, Roger. So these are people that you need to be a successful club. That's what happens behind.
Well, how long have Lamberth been about for now? They've been about for
years.
Well, you used to play for Lamberth, right, T?
Yeah, I played for them for a while. Yeah.
Who with Lucky?
Lucky came in this. Lucky came in the season that I decided to leave. Okay, shows you a lot about
club's
him.
Been existing from 1982.
1982. Wow. Did you ever play for Lamberth, Bakes?
No. I'm more south of the water, so played for more local teams around that way.
Cool. In terms of Lamberth, so is Lamberth more than a football club? Does that make sense? To you guys, for what you represent and your backgrounds and where you come from, are you more than a club?
I'm gonna let Global touch.
It's a community, 100%. And that's what drew me to these lot with the chat I had with Winch.
Yeah, 100%. Where if you see us on a day-to-day, we're family. Like we literally talk every day. If not, we're playing football together. If not, we're doing stuff together. So a lot of us are even in business with each other outside of the Sundays. Do you get what I'm saying? So there are a lot of tight. Like we're really, really tight in that respect. So it's more than just football. Obviously, we all have a passion for football, but we all have the same goal in terms of putting ourselves in a better position, basically.
Okay, cool. Lamberth All Stars, in the building, they're back. Cool, lads. Gonna touch on with Bakes now, and then we'll come back and we'll open up more. Bakes, what's happening, man?
Boy, happy to, have the feel factor of football coming back. So just touching off on where T left off, friendlies have been difficult to manage, even with Kenmore. We're so used to having home games at our ground. Our ground's unfortunately, for COVID reasons, not open till September. And it's the first time that Kenmore are now seeking friendlies away. So there's other teams as well that ain't able to get venues at the moment, So it's very good to hear that there's a few teams that are getting friendlies open, but everyone's gravitating to those type of pitches, which obviously make it difficult.
Do you not think, so see all this stuff about friendlies, people tweet, people get involved in the banter and that. Do you think these smaller teams get involved in these banters to gain followers, then pull out friendlies?
It's a bit of both because, the sound of football being open, everyone wants to play again. I've seen a lot of teams training in open parks and, again, to get a facility where there's goals, linesmen again, it does make it difficult. So if you're a team that's just starting up and you want to kind of get that following, I guess you got to tag a few big teams to kind of get teams gravitating to you and highlight who you are.
Were you going to say something?
Is it really that deep though? Because obviously I had this chat on Twitter the other day when I mentioned about teams hiding and Lefty was talking about a business. Yeah. Is that what it's all about now? Because for me, Sunday football is playing whoever on the park at a nice ground and just turn up and play in the game. It doesn't matter who you play.
But I think
Is that what
kinda like
teams
what I was
do now?
gonna
The
say,
teams
like-
think about, let me tag Lamberth, let me tag Kenmore because I want people to see who
do you
we
think
are.
teams are more interested with attention than success?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
And
I
being the
believe
best.
that. I believe some of the smaller teams believe that they won't be as big as other teams, so they look for the attention rather than success. I
Yeah.
believe that.
So what do you think comes with the attention? Is everyone trying to like monetize their team? Is that the ultimate goal, or
I
because
think
for me,
people, I think people are obsessed with social media and followings and having their name in light sometimes.
yeah,
So whether that name's in light for 5 minutes,
yeah.
it's still having your name in the same sentence as a Lamberth.
But that's a dangerous game because when the season starts,
Yeah.
it's gonna come down to who's winning, who's
Of
winning their
course,
leagues,
of course.
who's winning the trophies. So if you've been making a lot of noise for the wrong reasons, and then the game start and you don't back it, it's a bad look.
Sorry to cut, man. That's always going to be the stigma, though, isn't it? Because we was having this debate last season, and even during this COVID, with you doing your podcast on the odd days in the week, who's the best? You understand? And at the end of the day, you know, you can't be the best without winning nothing. So the best stands where who's got those trophies, and if I tweet that person, then I can say, all right, I'm getting a backing now, or we're looking at it and thinking, oh, do we retweet that then because they're acknowledging us? You understand? So again, it's that old stigma about who's the best, and we want to gravitate to who the best because we want to play with the best teams.
How do we know who the best is? Who wins the London Cup's the best?
Yeah.
That's another thing.
that how we
I
do
mean,
it?
that's another thing. But then, without winning the London Cup, you got to win your domestic league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we can say the London Cup is almost like a Champions League. But then,
And then
does the
what's the Nationals then?
Champion League?
What is the Nationals then?
You know,
World Cup,
that's
Nationals.
World Cup.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
the biggest.
That's
Yeah.
the biggest. That's the biggest. But then, you know, when you come with entering yourself in the biggest tournaments, they come with a finance as well. You understand? And now Sunday is being a lot more financed. Can you finance that level as well? Because it's very expensive per round. You
But
understand?
don't the FA give you money?
A certain amount. I think you have to put on. Is it right? You have to put on food. If they stay, you have to contribute to. Is it mileage? From other, so I know is it regionalised or to a certain round?
Yeah. Then it
doesn't
opens up. Yeah.
and things like that. So I think you have to pay towards. What are the finances in that sort of?
I think you have to pay towards the travel. So every couple miles is £1 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Whether they stay in a hotel or not, or if they drive up, I think that you have to give them a certain amount of
Yeah.
earnings
the
you
FA
get when
give
they come through the door.
Yeah, I think the FA give you a certain amount
Okay.
towards if you were to stay down, because I know Portland, if they couldn't get that game on, it would have reversed the fixture.
Okay.
I'm sure it would have, which I think
And then
would have
it'll go
cost
the
more
other
money. Yeah.
So are we all in agreement that like in terms of trophy and how big they are, it goes Nationals, London Cup, domestic?
That's what Lee Cott was screaming when he was here last time.
Yeah.
I
In terms of
agree with
everyone here, does everyone agree with that?
I agree. I think it
Yeah.
goes. I think it goes Nationals, London Cup, and obviously county cups,
Yeah.
depending on how strong the teams are in the county cup,
Okay, I'm with you.
and then domestics, and I would say league domestics. I'll say league
Okay.
domestics.
I mean,
League proves that you're the best over the course of a season.
In your
If you're playing in the best leagues, yeah.
yeah.
you see, the reason why the league will stand out for me is because regardless, everyone enters that league. Not everyone enters the national cups and the other cups, the county cups. Not everyone enters them throughout their own reasons why. So for me, yet again, the only reason why, like when you said over a course of a season, domestic will always stand out for me because everyone is in that league. Obviously, if you're playing a county cup or a national cup, you're playing someone else from another league. But then even if you don't enter that cup, because we ain't entered those cups, we've beat teams that have entered those cups. Yet again, does it make them better
But I
because they
think-
go that far and win? But we've beaten you during the season, so like what you were saying, T, about having these friendlies and having the bragging rights when, you know, never lose and beat you on a one-off, you can say that. If it was over a Champions League where you play 2 legs, you might have battered them the second game, you understand?
Then
So-
would you agree then it's where you stand in your table and how far you go with the county cups then?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously you're gonna have so many games in hand, you know what I mean? Anyway, so you can be in these county cups, have like 4 or 5 games in hand, but you still got to win those games in hand to still stand out. So you might go as far because there's some teams. Look at Liverpool over the years; they were winning Champions League but never won the league. That make them a shit team in the domestic season, or were they focused on being a genuine cup team? Because there's loads of teams that are just good cup teams that go far in cups but struggle domestically.
But is it fair to say then your big players turn up in the Nationals and don't take the league as seriously? So for instance, Kenmore and
Sometimes.
Portland, the arguments on Twitter, They're saying they're better than you. You're saying you beat them in the league. Did they have the same squad against you in the league games as they did in the nationals?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? Because I'm not at them. Who knows? I'm not always at the national games.
Did you go to the national game?
I went to watch the last game. I think it was the team that they won 1-0.
So at that game, did they have the same starting lineup as they did against you? Like, that's what I'm up. Or was the lineup
similar.
Stronger in the nationals? Be honest.
It's hard to.
Similar.
The very first game we played Portland, we beat them 2-1 at their place.
With Page, scored the winner.
Yeah, and to me, that was the best Portland team I've seen. And maybe because I was in that game, not taking away.
They didn't have Merrick in that game because I came to that game.
Was it me and you on the side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's hard to define what's the best because, I mean, if from your team turns up on a Sunday, whatever team you have and put out, that is your team on the day.
Yeah, no,
you
I hear
understand?
that.
So you only can beat what's in front of you. So
Do you know what? Where my difference comes is there's so many different leagues. So it's like you're obviously speaking on behalf of OBDSFL.
Yeah.
But then there's like a Rising Ballers in the different leagues. So how? Do you know what I'm saying? So there has to be something you can measure them all by. And London Cup, all of them go into that cup.
Yeah.
So it comes down to how serious you take that cup. If you come out of the cup and you can have X, Y, and Z excuses, that's on you.
Let's be honest, no one enters a cup and don't take it serious, no matter what cup it is.
Everyone wants to
no one
survive,
enters that cup to say, do you know what, we'll play our reserves.
Yeah.
No one does that. It's the London Cup.
So that's what I'm saying.
everyone's
So it's a
played
good
their-
measuring stick.
Yeah,
then.
I agree with that.
Every team that's in the London Cup that will say they're one of the best or the best want to win that cup. And a lot of people haven't won that cup. That cup doesn't come easy. I've been in it a couple of years. Do you know what I mean? So
Is this year the year?
yeah, it is. I say that, and I knew that. I
I
backed
love that.
my
And that's
team.
against Gower, yeah?
Yeah, man.
I'm not disrespecting any team. I'm gonna turn up like it's any other game.
Right, because I was going to say to you as well, right? So let's go back, and it might be a touchy subject. So let's talk. See the St Joe's game. See that game there? So obviously a lot of people talk about that game because if you talk about losses, how many games you lost this year? 2,
Yeah,
3, 3.
Three,
Brixton,
sorry.
St. Joe's.
Yeah,
Yeah, Brixton never losing St Joe's. Yeah, and I
They're three
think,
good teams, you know.
of course, I think for me,
Debatable.
I always said, see against when you lot played the Dons. I said to V, what surprised me the most, not that you won, but the Dons didn't score.
Yeah.
And against St Joe's, you guys not scoring with what you have was to me. I remember the conversation V ran me like, Lamberth lost, you know. I was like, no way. He was like, yeah, they lost. So what was the defining after that game? I remember talking to you, Winge, and Winge wasn't happy, bro.
Yeah,
I don't think you could put a finger on what was the sole reason, but do you think it was a little bit of complacency, like the hype around Lamberth at the time?
Definitely was. We got young players that are learning their trade. Do you know what I mean? Even managing their body and everything. So, for instance, the build up to the Dons game was massive.
Yeah.
Where St Joe's are already doing their homework on us.
Yeah.
And then
But let's have this right as well. St Joe's always do well in the Nationals.
They've
though,
got
no?
good
There you
they've
go.
got good
They got
history.
well, like, so let's not take nothing away from
nothing
Joe's.
at all.
Fair,
Nothing at all.
when they lost, I spoke to Winch, and the first thing Winch said is they play better than us. They won.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
They are so well drilled in terms of what they said to me is the starting 11. The most of their team they play throughout the season together, like every Sunday, and they got good players. They got top players as well. I can't take nothing away from them. I feel what I would say about us, we turned up big time,
Yeah.
and I'm not afraid to say that because we're so used to winning.
Do you think that's a key thing to be able to accept and admit that? Saying like we were big time.
Yeah,
that's
we
the
was.
problem. Don't hide from it.
And
'Cause
they showed us what football is to them.
Yeah.
Because I will say it how it is. Some of them, when we got off the pitch, when I was walking past, it was like, that felt like a pre-season game. That's a disrespect to me. But they're just being honest. They was in every tackle. They was in our face. We conceded an early goal. The video will be coming out soon anyway. We conceded an early goal, and then their structure was good. And then, as you know, I'm not making an excuse. We lost key players, like Cads in the game before, and then Nyron Nosworthy got injured. Jimbo got injured. These are key players that's been a winning team that's been going along the way.
Yeah.
So what people don't understand is that this is our first year in the Nationals for the new Lamberth.
Yeah.
This is our first year. This is a new experience for me. I played London Cup, so I know London Cup. I know what it takes. I don't know Nationals.
Yeah.
So it was a great experience, and I'm ready to go again. I'll take it. That was our first loss, and it is by a great team that I think can go and win it.
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Yeah. Okay.
What I would say on that though, where they went wrong in that, they definitely made up for it now. So going into the team now, seeing the depth of that squad's crazy. Whereas before you're saying key players missing. Now if those key players are missing, I can see them being replaced.
Are you the best Sunday team about? That's just. I'm gonna.
Let me
I'm
be-
just gonna ask it.
Hey,
Do you know what?
It's funny, you know.
I'm gonna say how it needs to be said. This is why I love these lot around me, because they're more humble than me, and it brings a humble experience for me.
Yeah.
I'm in my head, yes, I do think we're the best. I know that.
Yeah.
But you still got to go prove it week in, week out. And the thing is with me, it's not about me saying it. It's about the rest of the Sunday team.
Yeah.
And the respect I have for every Sunday team is massive, and that's why they love us. Because we will play a team. You know, we will kill a team at football. We'll play the way we're going to play, no matter what surface, no matter where it is. And when we're done, we respect them no matter what the scoreline is. It could be big, small. We respect teams. And it's them that say, you lot are the best. You lot are the best. You lot are the best we've played.
Let's be honest, before the best Sunday side thing come out, I never heard Lamberth say it. It was always through Twitter and through us, through me meeting you lot on the last podcast and telling you that's what I think. I've never heard them actually say
Well,
it.
to be fair, when we went to watch them against Barnhurst, from then I was like, this is definitely one of the best.
They had
Sunday
a
teams.
good goalie that day.
But if and it's mad because people
But
say
you know
we was
what?
biased, yeah.
Yeah.
But when you look at it now,
And do you know
Lamberth
that
in the
day,
London Cup final,
that-
Portland are in the semi-final of the Nationals.
and these are the teams you backed.
So
Yeah.
that's not a coincidence. Do you see what I'm saying?
Do you know
Big
what?
up your fresh.
I think at the end of the day, when you're honest and you put yourself out there, you're always putting yourself in a fire now, because people will always go back to the stuff that you got wrong and say, I told you so. And I think the key thing for us is being consistent. And on the way, people have hated, we've lost followers, but it's not about that. It's about being consistent in what we do and highlighting
And
Sunday
honest.
league. And being honest.
Honest is the
Do
best.
you know what, right? And the humbling thing is that day, yeah, we done an interview at halftime with one of your players, yeah, and they made a statement, and it pissed Windjar off. He said, we have to take that out. Do you remember? Do you remember the conversation? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. See, for me, like I understand them. They are hungry. They've come on the scene. They're young. They're like, we're the best. Obviously, they were saying we're the best. We're better than Kenmore. We're better than SC Dons. All of this, but for me, my approach is different. So that's why I didn't want it in the clips. And they backed it.
Yeah.
They backed it because everyone they played, majority of the teams, we've only lost 3 games.
Yeah.
And for a new team, that's a bit amazing. Do you know what I mean? London Cup final, Surrey Cup final. I mean, we're in a quarter-final, semi-final. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we was game in
hands in the league. innit?
game in hands in the league. And even losing a game, we were still favourites to win in terms of the games we had.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, for me now, I've proved what I've said. I think we've earned the respect. And I'm just wanna like go throughout the season now, and let's kick on.
Cool.
Let the football do the talking.
All right,
this year.
let's talk Kenmore, right? Because I want to make a point. Is if you look at Kenmore 2 years ago to Kenmore today, you have lost a lot of key players, right, Bates? Big players for you.
Do you know,
Range.
before we jump on that, yeah, do you know what I want to ask Baker?
Go on.
Like because he's been in the scene for a long time.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So what do you make of like the hype surrounding Sunday League right now? Because obviously it's a big transition from the Sunday League that I knew and you knew.
Yeah.
So everyone's screaming they're the best, and YouTube teams and a lot of Twitter talk. What do you make of it all? Is it something that you think is good for the scene, or?
It's nice because it brings something different. I mean, when you've been playing on a Sunday, to me, not taking away the mindset of what Sunday football used to be. Oh yeah, it's just a pub thing, you know, just go in there and play. But for a lot of Saturday players that are not actively playing in their teams, it's good release for you to know that you can turn up on a Sunday and you're more than likely to get a game and still get a good fulfillment out of it. And you know, for me, looking back at the way things used to be to how they are now, it's amazing. It's amazing what you guys do, what Selk have done, what all these other different avenues have done to help propel Sunday football. Quite a lot of players just love playing Sundays more than they do their Saturday teams because they get a different type
What
of...
about like all the like? Because basically, when you go on Twitter, a lot of teams are screaming they're the best. Like what? Because obviously it's all good. Everyone gets to play football. I understand that it brings things into people's lives. But what about the competitiveness and the outspokenness of teams, like screaming they're the best?
It's like Premier League, you know, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea. When they lose that weekend, it's fire. You understand? So it's one of them things. Like obviously, where Win said, you know, just started out, only lost 3 games. It's like, well, all right. They might have been big games, but we're still known as favourites because of what we can do on our day. So yet again, losing that weekend or even drawing, it's like, bloody hell, what happened there? You understand? And then it's just a fire. So yeah, again, I mean, defining again what's the best, you know, with Kenmore, for me, Winch might be able to share the same experience that when you turn up, you can't be complacent. And that, not acting big time by talking and highlighting certain things, but what I'm saying is you have to turn up knowing that, this team is a really good team and we need to do our job first. And we've never really been a bragsful, boastful club. Like, we wouldn't jump on Twitter and say, oh, yeah, we battered you and all of that. Kenmore was more of a gentleman's club where...
Frenchie might do that.
Yes.
Frenchie might do that.
No, I see they can work out.
And you know what?
They throw
Just-
banter
and you know
around
what?
as
Just
well.
like what Win said, when you got the young players up and coming, it's almost taming them and getting them to learn what your club ethos is all about. Because at the end of the day, when a young person goes on Twitter and then starts talking a whole load of nonsense, remember that is going back to your club. So what type of club do you want to be known by? You understand? And yet again, you know, the whole exposure of Sunday football is an amazing thing, and long may it continue. I hope that, you know, football above can support it a lot more. You know, I think that's important going forward.
All right, cool. So if we go back then, and we spoke about Lamberth, let's talk about Kenmore, because if you go back to the Dons Kenmore final, the Kenmore side, you played for Kenmore Winds, right?
Yeah.
Was Lefty playing for Kenmore?
Yeah.
Mal?
Yeah.
So these sort of players were playing for Kenmore. So you've lost big players, big personalities. How do you then keep going and still strive to try and be the best at what you're doing, even though you're losing in good players? Did it ever get to a point where you think, hang on a minute, we need to stop trying to be a club, not necessarily that feeds bigger clubs, but did it ever feel like that at certain points?
It will come across that way.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But yet again, the Kenmore ethos is about how it started, was about just getting a young group of players come in and expressing yourself. And at the end of the day, I'm very happy for Winch to go on, and now he's doing his own thing and he's got a brand with it. Yet again, Lefty, when he left, he went on to go and do a brand. Mal, when he left, he went to go and support his thing. So yet again, to kind of take away, you know, we can say, yeah, we don't want you to leave. Stay, give it another year. But at the end of the day, as long as you go on to do better things, it would hurt me knowing that you left us to go and play for a lower team. You understand? And yet again, when you lose big players, it's not so much losing a big player, it's then giving someone an opportunity to have an opportunity of stepping up.
And that leads perfectly into my next question. When the league finished, where was you top?
This season, yeah.
Yeah, this season.
Yeah.
So losing them players, you guys have got a lot of stick in the last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to finish where you finished, was that sort of like we're here, we're still here, regardless of losing it, key players, we can still mix it, we can still bring people in, and we can still prove that we can play amongst the best.
Well, it's an expectation. You know what I mean? Like, last season is the very first time since I've been at Kenmore we finished out of the so-called top four, and I've been at Kenmore over 10 years. So yet again, you know, complacency can creep in. Yet again, turning up expecting to beat certain teams and getting unstuck. Yet again, it's an expectation. And at the end of the day, because of the name that we have, we will always gravitate players. You understand? Yes, it is nice to bring in a player that can commit to doing Saturday and Sunday because the generations have changed now. Not everyone is fit enough or able to do Saturday and Sunday through commitments. I can't imagine the pressures that some people do get that you will never know what they get, but they turn up and they're there.
Yeah.
And that's why Kenmore have been such a good team, great team going forward, because we've always had a consistent squad that comes out. And like I said to Vi before, you only can beat what's in front of you. So if we have a team, I remember, I think Winch was playing for us and we turned up to a semi-final and we lost against, I think it was Cray in the semi-final. We lost against them. And we only had the bare 11, literally just bare 11. And it was interesting because we could have won that game, but yet again we were overrun and we turned up because they were 2 leagues below us with the mindset we're going to beat them anyway. And we end up losing. So yet again, you know, you have to just keep a consistent base like what you said before and hope that carries you through. But you still got to be resilient and can't turn up to games because you'll get pumped. And that's the difference with the way Sunday is now, because you've got a lot of great Saturday players coming down to Sundays, enjoying it, and they want to turn up every week. And once you got that consistency, you always go on and do very, very well. So
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Pitsy as well.
I was going to say that. I think
because he's been doing a great job in terms of the turnover of players and keeping the side competitive each year. that's definitely credit to him and the rest of his team at Kenmore.
Yeah, I think he's very influential in what he does. He's very humbling.
Definitely.
He's very honest, and he always wants to help people. He wants people to learn, and I think you can learn a lot from Pitts. I've learned a lot from Pitts, even when I was a coach at SCR and he was a player. I've learned from him. So I think people do gravitate towards him because of what he brings to the table.
Just to touch base on that, it's funny because I was just saying about the young players, and when they come, you want them to buy into your ethos. And I brought Pitts to Kenmore when I came over, but I came over a couple of years, and I was saying to a couple of the players, yeah, come, you know, because there's an old saying, you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. I like to say, I can tell you the story, but you can't come and read the book. And once you turn up at the ground and you just see raw, because there's some pitches, when you look at your home pitch and then you're turning up to other pitches away, you're thinking, nah, this pitch looks dope. We can play ball on this. But knowing that you've got at least 10, 11 solid games league domestically on that pitch, and if you get as far as we do, because we're a cup team as well, we get far in the domestic cups, you know you're playing on that ground. And yet again, I brought Pitts there. And you got to, when you're bringing players into your team, you got to think of the type of person you're bringing to the team as well, because you can bring someone that is, you know, they want to play ball, but they're not really about that life, and something can just happen, and then that's on you. You understand? And I had that pressure where, you know, what, do you know any players? And I'm bringing certain players down, and then when I'm bringing players, they're also bringing players that have the right attitude and mindset. And when you know, Cecil, Leroy, and the Bull decided to step down, you know, when you're at Kenmore for a certain amount of time, the love that you have been shown while you're there doesn't make you want to leave. So when players leave, that's why the aspirations for me is go on to do something better, and I hope it works out for you. So when Pitt steps up now and, like, you know, carrying the team forward and coming up with different ideas, at least I can say, well, you know what, it's been left in good hands. You understand? Now let's get behind that and support that. And yet again, when you're getting good big players that are leaving, that are especially in key positions, Kenmore's a big enough team to say, look, do you want to come down and play? And if you come, you won't look back.
Cool. V, ask you a question.
Go for it.
If you think of the 5 best Sunday League teams, to your knowledge right now, who are they?
Lamberth, SC Dons, Rising Ballers, definitely top 3. In terms of what I've seen, I would have to throw Portland. And then it's out of Rocker and Kenmore.
So them 5 teams, so four of them 5 playing the OBDSFL. So are we closer now to be able to say, okay, look, it's in a mix now because you guys are now OBDSFL, right?
Yeah.
So
is that official?
We can officially talk about this, yeah?
Fresh exclusive.
Right. So next year, a lot of arguments can be put to rest, or there can be more controversial stories. Because I think this year for us, it was the first year for us, so we knew the big names.
Yeah.
I didn't really know much about Rocker, but going to watch Rocker against Dons, the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it was like
high
whoa.
intensity, man. Good.
Yeah, it was good. I think we didn't get to see Farnborough, but they obviously had a good year.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams you haven't seen.
But I think next year then, we're getting closer to where there's a mixture of teams who we're regarding as the best are going to be playing against each other week in, week out. So I think next year is the year when we can say, okay, cool. If we could get Maz's there and say, get Rising Ballers over there as well. I know they're travelling that. Because then I think we're at a point where we can actually say he's the best, they're the best, they're the best.
We're getting
you can
closer
compare
to
players. What's the plans for next year?
World domination.
You said it calmly as well.
Is that everything?
Nah. To be honest, we just want to obviously get.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
Do you feel like you got a point to prove now that you're in the OBDSFL? No.
There's no point to prove.
Okay.
I think we've shown what we can do. Everyone's aware.
Yeah.
I think everyone was trying to prove a point against us
you.
now.
Yeah, true.
Do you think that helps you? Because if teams are trying to prove a point,
it definitely motivates us because it gives us motivation to get up in the morning and improve. We're the best every Sunday.
Do you think that comes with a new challenge? Because a lot of people would say, like, when teams play against Dons, for instance, every team they play against brings their best available players, and now you've kind of you're in that circle. So when people say, "Oh, we got Lamberth this week," more times than not, the best players are gonna come.
Yeah,
so it's like
100%. A lot of the time, they bring their best players or they don't turn up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happens.
Bakes, are you playing next year?
Yeah,
Or are you,
of course
are
it
you
is.
out? You're back,
Mr.
back.
Kenmore.
Fully back.
McGregor.
And you know what? Just echoing what you're saying, it's interesting because over the years, when teams have come to Kenmore, to me, any Kenmore team that beats a team, we've just beat your best team. And we'll look at the league next week and we'll be thinking, how did that team beat you like that?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, raw.
Well, we looked at that. Rocker's performance
Rocker's
against
one
Don,
of them, yeah.
although they lost, the two sending-offs definitely played a part in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
But I remember looking at the results after that, like,
Yeah, man.
I mean, you look at they slapped Portland 4-0 at the beginning of the
Yeah.
season. We watched that game against SC Dons, which
Yeah.
is impressive despite the loss. And then after that, it was like they was losing games that you'd expect
It's
them to win.
it's hard to keep players motivated
For
to
the
get
smaller
up
teams,
to
yeah.
get up in the morning
Yeah.
and play against the so-called smaller teams, and that's probably the hardest part of Sundays is. And you know how it goes. There's players playing Saturday, so they get injuries
Yeah.
or they go out the night before, so they're not obviously available. So
can
it
imagine.
is hard. That's why it is important to have a big squad, and that's something we've addressed this
Yeah.
season as well.
Yeah, so just to touch on the big
Sorry,
squad.
what's funny?
Go ahead, V.
No, because I see something on the TR, and obviously you got to take everything you see when people are tweeting with a pinch of salt. But I was hearing something about under 21s in a different league, LA under 21s in a Met League and that, and I'm thinking, right, this sounds like an academy system that you're setting up in Sunday League.
Sometimes I'm on Banter, well, yeah, not sometimes, always. But yeah, nah, to be honest, that under 21s shout was just to see who would bite. Okay. Obviously, a few people did. But yeah, nah, obviously, a certain team called us out, and I just addressed it and said,
Fair
yeah.
enough. So there is only one team that you.
Nah,
got this-
there's so there's obviously we've got the main team that's going into
Oh,
the off-putting.
Yeah, okay.
Then obviously we've got our reserves as well.
which is
But-
staying in the Met.
In the Met.
But we might in the future do like maybe under 21s.
That's a good idea, man.
Cool.
Definitely.
The thing about the OBDSFL league is any team in there can beat you. Any
Bake,
team.
since you said that, like, how do you rate Lamberth's chances going into the OBDSFL?
Yeah, high.
So would you put them as amongst one of the favourites?
Yeah, 100%.
Alongside who?
Alongside ourselves, alongside the Dons. I can't take anything away from Portland, you know. But yeah, again, you know, when you talk too much, there's an expectation.
They've made a few
You
good
understand?
signings.
That's just the reality. You understand? And,
Portland.
you know, with I guess our new rivals, I would say, is Portland.
Yeah.
I would say our underdog. Well, I can't even say underdogs, but our bogey team's been Hatcham over the years. That ain't really changed. You understand? So yeah, again, you know, it's when I say any team can beat you, if you're not switched on, you get pumped.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, when you do have that Saturday baller that you're relying on to turn up, you know, appointments or things do happen on a Sunday morning where you get let down, and everyone's got the time in the groups. And you know, the good thing with Kenmore, we've had that consistency of, you know, because it's hard. I mean, you don't want to be treated like a Saturday where everyone turns up and you're expected to play, and then you get that shot where, boy, I'm sorry, you know, but you're not going to be in the 16, and it's almost like you've then wasted your Sunday when you could have been doing other things. But yet again, it's about the team and the players that are available. So if you have that special player who you don't see for 2 weeks, he can't just come in that team on the third week when he's available. But it's a controversial one because you need to play him because the game's big, but has he turned up just because that game is big, rather than that player that's been there every single week waiting for his opportunity to come in and play? You've got to play that player because you've got to keep some form of loyalties to him as well. So yeah, again, it's hard trying to strike that balance on a Sunday because, you know, remember, it's all about the team. It's not about the individual. And if the individual, you know, decides that he wants to keep up with certain things, boy, sorry, you know what, this ain't for you, and you're gonna have to move on or leave and go and find somewhere else. So yeah, again, it's just being consistent, and the consistent teams, they're the ones that are at the top of the league.
Yeah, I think Sunday has evolved a bit more since then, though. Like back in the day, a Sunday team might have like 2 or 3 players that they heavily rely on, but I think the top Sunday teams now have more
5 and 6.
5, 6, 7.
You
know,
need it.
so they're not leaning on just like one player. So if one player doesn't turn up,
You need it.
they got more. But it's gonna. I think would you say it's the most competitive it's been this league this year.
You know what? It's interesting because I was in the league rep group, and what we was talking about last season was with all these big teams that are in it, obviously with the SC Dons coming in, etc. Our shout was, who's going to finish bottom? Because there's so much big teams, and anyone can beat anybody. On my life, I would have never thought it would have been Kamazi at the time, because they were bottom along with Vista. So this season now,
and they were champions the year
and
before.
they were champions the year before. So
they're still champions.
You know, and
still champions.
yet again, when you've got that accolade of winning the league, your next objective is, can we win it again, and have that element of consistency, because no one gets nothing for second. You understand?
Is Bozy still there, or is he signed for you?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, Bozy's obviously me and him have a friendship. Me and him have a friendship out of football for years, years and years. And he used to be a Lamberth player. So
he's
obviously,
coming home.
Part of the Surrey Cup winning team.
yeah. So what I'm saying is that how can I explain? Like James, I respect James so much. He's a proper manager.
Yeah,
like, he's
good
a
guy.
proper guy.
Good guy.
Like he doesn't get into this all the stuff
never
we
does.
do.
First time we met
never
him,
does,
he was
no.
more than happy to cooperate.
A respectable
he's
guy,
a good
and that's
guy.
another thing that I'll touch on. I gave him the option, but I have a lot of respect for James.
Yeah.
It's just like it's the same with Kenmore. I have a lot of respect for Bakes and Craig, and I give them the option because I'll be honest, you lot know the Lamberth team, so to come here, where you might be the best there, this is actually
Who
the
have you
elite.
actually signed?
I know you got Dowhouse.
Yeah,
No, no,
That's a
let's
power.
ask
That's
him
a
the
power
list.
signing
Who
there.
have you actually? If you don't want to answer, we're going to go to the gaffer or T. Who have you actually signed? Can I throw names out there?
nah, you can't.
The tick.
I tell you what, right? You
I
can,
thought it was wins no safety.
you can throw out names, and I'll say either yes or no.
Yeah, no, but I want honest yes or no.
I'd answer honestly.
I know you all.
Yeah, so shout him out.
Kadaga,
No,
look at me in my face.
he hasn't signed. That's what you asked. Who has signed? He hasn't signed.
exactly.
So no.
Oh, you lot think you're smart.
You asked who signed. That's what we're telling you.
Okay, signed. So Dalhouse is signed.
Yeah.
Bozy,
No.
No.
no. KB,
Yes.
Matty Warren.
No.
You got a guy.
You heard what I said. I said no.
You're asking who signed. He hasn't signed. So
Is he coming though?
coming to do what?
What?
Is he coming to sign?
What coming to watch?
Coming to sign.
No. That's not on the table right now.
He's not on the table right now. Yeah, okay. Sam Freeman?
No.
Nope. You would know that as well. He's your best mate. So you're the one that told me he ain't coming.
What would other rumors?
Where is he going?
Who's Sam Freeman?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I look after you, Sam. No, from what I know, obviously he's Portland, innit? He's Portland through and through.
He's not going Kenmore then.
Huh?
Why are you going quiet?
No, like, someone told
He's
me
going
shit.
Kenmore?
Who? Sam?
Freeman, yeah.
No, he's not going anymore.
Oh.
From what I know, he might not even play Sundays. He wants
Lamberth
to.
Lions.
He wants to concentrate on taking his son. We're touching Lamberth Lions in a minute. What's that? Bakes, Kenmore, have you made any signings yet?
No.
Because one thing, it's been very quiet around Kenmore.
Yeah,
There was
man.
we heard rumours that you might fold.
No.
Never.
No, never. And that's what we thought. We heard them sort of rumours, innit?
No.
Kenmore might fold.
No, I mean,
Is it about when no one's talking about you? That's better for you because you can go about your business, keep your head down. Because I've seen that you guys have been working. I've seen the videos. Yeah. So is it better for you that way?
well, it's not even so much what's better. I mean, I'm a strong believer, work in silence and let success do the talking. So, yet again, you asking questions about is that player coming, is that player coming? We just want to be assertive. When we've done it, it will be out there.
It'll be out there,
You
yeah.
understand? Like, and, you know, at the end of the day, we are looking at gravitating to players.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's looking. It's not, a fact till it's signed and we can say, yeah, we have this player. So, yeah, again, we are looking and teams are calling and players are calling and, come down, get a feel of it. But it's hard though because, yet again, our selling point is seeing the pitch for what it is. You understand? Okay. And the fact is that we ain't got that to show. So you just have to come down and obviously you will hear and see what we've done in the past. And, yeah, again, a lot of players know what Kenmore's about. Yeah. However, we've been in a light over the last 2 years where you might just look at the games that we've lost. Yet again, what we've won speaks volumes, you understand?
I said it on Twitter the other day. A lot of these teams are making wild statements on Twitter just for the sake of saying things.
But
if you know Sunday football, you can't disrespect.
But that's
Kenmore.
what I'm saying about teams are so saying silly wild things to put their name, whether it's in good light or bad light, out there.
Or even
for
randomers
the
I've never seen.
to see it. and to get reactions. So Global said he might say things to get a bite, but look what you've done. Certain teams are saying wild things. Yeah, you were bang out of order the other day on the TL.
Can you elaborate, please?
No,
don't know
I
what
can't
you're talking
elaborate. I can't. But you were bang out of order. But this is what I'm saying is, in them situations, people will get into that little banter with Lamberth, because then when people click on the timeline and it says fucking Global OTF or whatever it is, and then it goes Lamberth Lions and it goes blah blah blah, it's like, hang on, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Click, follow.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So then it's not about football.
You know what? I learned the hard way last year.
Go on.
If you talk too much, you'll get burnt. I'm gonna be honest.
I set him up.
I said
I'll
a lot. I said a lot last
blame
year.
with that.
I said a lot last year, and I'll still do the same thing. I will take any game possible.
So T, let
I
me
said-
ask you something.
go
Yeah,
on.
you've played Rise and Ballers, right?
One of the best.
So like
That
Lamberth,
I've seen.
who wins Lamberth?
Oh, come on, that's
RB?
silly.
I'll be honest.
Honestly, get
Not
them
on
on
a-
the same Sutton pitch. Lamberth beat them.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my honest opinion. But it'd be a good game.
yeah. I think it'll be a
If you
proper
came and
game
filmed
still.
that is the best of the
Dons,
best. total
that-
football.
Dons are playing them,
Dons
innit?
are playing RB. That's obviously.
But we're talking
one
about
of the-
football.
footballing
Betis,
styles.
yeah.
From what I've seen of Dons, I've only seen a couple games.
Do you know
and
that's the one game I do want to watch.
Dons
And
attacking is
it was
great.
SC Dons versus RB. I wanted to watch, and Lamberth versus RB.
The game.
We're
if
getting
it,
one of them
If
at
it was
least.
Lamberth versus RB, the footballing you will see,
Unreal.
unbelievable.
So can that happen pre-season?
You'd have to ask them.
When I spoke to Maz after this
I'll fucking ring,
Saha
I'll
game,
ring Maz now.
he said that he wanted to
Ring
play
him.
against.
I've been waiting for this day.
I'm gonna say, yeah,
Go on.
if they want to play us and they mean it, I will remove any fixture I've got.
When
That's
you
what
say
I'm
and you
saying.
mean it, does that mean that you've heard shouts, but it's not concrete?
I'll just say it how it is. I speak to people, so they message me, and they message me saying, "We want to play you lot. This is when we're doing what we're doing in the London Cup. They're seeing where we're going. Now, it's time. Corona's done. I have no pre-season fixtures. I said whatever dates you lot want, you can have them. I've had the talks of I've got to go talk to my management team.
Sorry, the manager said I need to talk to management.
I was
That's
just
a bit
about to say that,
confusing.
you know.
I'm not
The
gonna
manager
lie.
said that.
The
The
manager
manager
doesn't-
said I need to talk to management. That's a bit confusing.
This
Of
is where,
who?
this is where one of my tweets came from. This is why I tweeted what I tweeted. One for
Yeah.
RB, obviously not taking the games. Another was BT's.
Obviously, I've contacted us. Obviously, I've contacted. Obviously, you know, I know some of the Beatties players, so I've contacted them as well. They said to me personally, their pre-season fixtures are full. Fair enough. Cool. That's their
Well,
decision.
have you signed for the gaffer on a Saturday, right? Is that where you go and barking? Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, man, that's
But yeah, like it's got nothing to do with him. It's got nothing to do with him. But I've spoke to the players and their team, and they've said that they wanted to play us. They said we need to get a game. That's what they said to me first. I gave them my number, etc. And then after that, there was like our pre-season fixtures.
so. When they said they were on, it was that pre-Corona. Before Corona.
Yeah.
When the hype was
Yeah.
everything
But
was rolling.
I've dealt with mine differently because I don't know when football was coming back. I didn't know when the cup finals would come back. I've left my pre-season fixtures.
Okay.
Now, this is why I say credit to Kenmore, Portland, Vista, all of that last year, because when we had games, they played us. It's not a hard thing to do, because Kenmore, one thing I've been there, we never shy away from playing the best. That's just that's in the club. So I've only learned that I'm only gonna go with the same. If you're the best, I'm willing to play you. I've even said to Dons, we shouldn't play each other, but should we do something like community for the community?
Almost like the Dons BT sort of stuff they do. I know it's like the online belt,
Yeah.
but that sort of.
Yeah, Quincy, sorry, Kissy said it. He was like, "Well, you lot should play for the belt," and I said, "Let's go." You know me, I don't back down from no game.
And it makes
But-
sense as well because Don's at SE, Lamberth, SW, representing the whole
You know
South.
what I mean? So
the
we,
community.
me and
And
Don
that
talk
game, the turn up for that game was crazy.
Yeah,
That
it
was crazy.
It was. That was a game that's gonna go down in history.
No, 1
100.
million
You know what I
percent.
mean?
Yeah, man.
But I want people to understand, like, this is what, because I've been in the OBDSFL, I don't want people to sleep on other teams because it's not about just Dons. I know they got the YouTube scene, but this is grassroots. That league is no joke.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that league is no joke. That it's branded so well
Yeah.
for years. When I come, I had an attitude, and Baker could tell you, of this is a Sunday. And Cecil and Bakes told me, this ain't just Sunday. It's Sunday league, but this ain't Sunday.
Yeah.
And we played the preseason games. I think I scored a hat trick every game. And then my first game was Hatcham, and I couldn't believe the talent that was on display. That's my first ever game for Kenmore. We won 2-1. Obviously, I scored, and Adam scored. But after that, I spoke to Bakes and I said, "This is no joke." Do you know what I mean? And I don't want people to discredit teams that's been in there. Like I want to also give a mention for Bickley. They've done the Invincibles. Like you got to be talking about these teams. Like it's just a shame that now the YouTube scene is
taking
off
over.
because I'm telling you, when they had the Twins and Beaver at their best, you don't want to wake up on a Sunday and you have to be at your best to play them. So do you know what I mean? Even Vista before, they're counter attacking when Damani had them at their best, Dalhouse at their best. It was a joke. So I want people to understand that this ain't about just Dons and do you know what I mean? Kenmore, big club. Like even giving food after the games. No other Sunday team's ever done that. Do you know what I mean? The best pitch. No other team's ever done that. So I know that the hype now is Lamberth, the content side, Beatties, Rising Ballers, Dons, but I'm telling you this on real teams.
Portland do food afterwards, though, right?
Only in the nationals.
Portland do everything after the game.
But I'm saying that's in the nationals.
No.
I'm saying
In the league, they do. Like, last year, they did.
No, sorry. Yeah,
you
they
talk
did.
about
Yeah,
Briar?
they did. Because they did. But I'm
It was
going to be honest.
against you. I was trying to think it was against you
Yeah,
guys.
but I've only known that
This
to
year.
be through Kenmore doing it properly.
Okay.
Like properly, refs, everyone, family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I build my team off as well. To be fair, it's behind the football.
Who's the
That kind.
favourites next year, Winch? Are you the favourites to win that league?
Yeah, no doubt. With the caliber of players we've got,
Yeah.
it's a joke.
It's not even that. Win the London Cup and it says it all, innit?
Okay.
Just to say,
Good.
just to say, there's two teams that could have played us in the London Cup, but they didn't beat the teams in front of them. So
That's
so I don't know if anyone has looked.
this is why I get how I am, because the London Cup you cannot hide. This is why I love when you sign to the big cups, because it doesn't. I know it's a one-off game, but no one can hide from each other. When your fixture is drawn, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's why I was happy, because Vista was even having arguments with me before the season, and then we drew them, beat them 4-2. I remember.
Was that the chip?
I remember. I'll say it how it is. I remember even when Your Fresh was crediting us just to say, do not sleep on Lamberth because look how they beat Barnhurst, and Dons struggled in that game. In a sense, they was behind at a point. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't a diss. It's just to be aware of what kind of team we are. And people said, oh, this and that. No, but we beat Vista 6-0, and then their cards were drawn. So do you know what I mean? And everyone's saying, who's the best? We've just gone and proved it. If that's what they think is the best, then because you remember, you got to understand this grassroots football is new to some of the young kids. They don't understand actual grassroots.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They're learning. Do you get what I mean? And then they're talking about what they see. They're just seeing what they can see on YouTube channels.
Yeah.
But when the real things happen, it never lies. Do you know what I mean? And if you're the best team, you got to go win the best cups, and we're in the finals. That's just the truth. So that's why this season I'm not going to be talking as much, because I backed everything I've said, and I just want to just more work on things of the community and what we do behind the club to make the club, the structure better. And that's why I'm bringing people like D by my side. You know what I mean? And we'll move from there. Thanks.
That's what I gotta say about
Statement.
that. Listen, mate. V, is there anything else you want to ask?
What did I have in my head? It's gone, you know.
Let's talk about Your Fresh.
Yeah, go on.
Let's talk about the past year.
Big up Your Fresh every time.
I'm telling you, bro, because
every time.
I'm telling you, the one statement I say to V all the time, he sat in my front room and said, right, you have to really be ready for this to take off quicker than anything. And I don't think me or V ever in our wildest dream believed it would take off as quick as this. Two of us, known V 20 years. So for it to take off with family, as much as it had, is extra special from my point of view. And we've done a lot. There's been ups, there's been downs.
As
Me and
always.
V don't agree on everything, funny enough. But that's what you need, because if we did agree on everything, we wouldn't have the brand we got now.
100.
There's a lot of big things pending next year. Please believe that. Thank you for everyone that's followed the journey. Thank you for the people that have criticised the journey, because without you, we can't move forward. Thank you for the people that have stuck by us through the journey, and that's people in this room.
Yeah.
There's other people as well, Source, Mikey Campbell,
Yeah,
Lee Cott, all of them teams there, even teams called the Municipal, do you know what I mean? Brixton, Navalus, and everyone's followed at some point. We've had Maz on, we've had John the Ref, the Cat, was it John the Cat?
John Cat.
John Cat,
he's
what a
good
legend,
guy.
by the way. What a
Good
guy. Best
rep team, yeah.
best referee out there.
Facts.
Yeah. So
But
for us,
even big up the people that are just contributing to the scene.
there you go.
Do you know
People
what
that
I'm
at us every day, like, you have to remember, it's two men in a camera.
That's what I mean, man. But at the same time, we are helping, even if it's one or two people. Like, someone messaged me the other day, and it was like he's just qualified as a journalist from uni, and he wants to use our platform for experience. So even little things like that,
That's
it's
big.
like,
And anyone that's just starting that feels it's getting hard, stick at it. Success doesn't come overnight. We're not successful yet. We're in the process of building greatness. And yet, to be consistent, you have to wake up every day and work hard. That's why you guys are successful. That's why Kenmore was successful. It didn't happen overnight. We're a year in. So we just hope and pray that the journey continues. And it will. It will continue, and we continue to grow, but we continue to grow together. Yeah?
100.
Listen.
We're back.
We're back. It's been a good podcast to start it off. LA in the building.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming through.
Hey, wait, one more rumor.
Go on.
Who you signing for next year? I see LA.
You have to get my merchandise.
No, I'm playing, but listen, people that are subscribe Your Fresh TV Sports on Instagram and Twitter, Your
Ryan
Fresh
was holding that in
TV.
for ages.
Your Fresh TV on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment. Any content you have, send it in. V does get really backed up, but he does get through all the messages. So send in what you have. Your Fresh TV Sports.
Big up.
It's a wrap.